do you work with CEOs day to day, or how do you coach them, given some of the things you talked about being a board member and how you're behind the curve and understanding what's really going on?
Well, I'd start by saying I spend the vast majority of my working time on Vouch. And so my ability to be deeply helpful to any other companies is limited because being a CEO, particularly CEO of a founder CEO of a startup or growth stage company, it's pretty much an all consuming job. One thing I try to be really careful about though is being clear, even though I'm fundamentally an operator, I'm not the CEO of the business. That's the CEO's job, right? I'm going to be there to be a sounding board and a resource. And if they want me to challenge them, I'm very happy to step in and do it, but I'm not going to get into their operational details. And the reason for that is I think that leadership has to be contextual. And the notion that a board member can come in and in a few hours a month, right, which is probably about how much time most board members spend, actually get into the weeds of like how what's going on and be able to offer really clear operational direction. I've never seen it happen from investor directors I've worked with. Let's put it that way. I certainly am not capable of doing that. In the boards where I've been involved. So if I'm going to lean in as a board member, kind of trying to help an entrepreneur, it's more likely going to be at more of a kind of sounding board level or just helping them think through a problem. But ultimately, it's got to be their call.
That's great. And I was working with a CEO just recently who was struggling with this issue where a board member came in, talked to one individual, and said, "We have a big problem. Mr. CEO, you have to go solve this big problem." And the CEO was saying, "This is not the problem." And so not only did we have to manage the communication with the board member to help them understand that, but had to help the board member understand that they actually weren't being helpful in that particular situation. So it was very, very frustrating to CEO.